Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning on in to our Valley News Now desk this morning. We are still seeing the impacts from yesterday's winter storm. I know that we've got tricky travel for a lot of us throughout the valley, and we'll cover that in just a second here. But check out this view from the Dakota Magic Casino sky cam there. You can see that snow all over there, flags blowing in the wind. So we're still seeing a windy day today as well, and that's not really helping with all that new fallen snow, is it? One more time, thank you so much for joining us here on our Valley News Now desk. My name is Alex Larson. So we're going to kick things off again, talking about just that, weather, what's going on outside. I'm going to get my screen ready to share with you here, and we'll get started. All right, I'm here on the Valley News Live website. Right now in Fargo, we are sitting at 17 degrees. Cloudy conditions, mostly cloudy, and we're not going to get much warmer. I think that's about as warm as we're going to get today is right now. We're going to hop all the way down to, let's see, 10. I'm not 10. Whoopsies. I just saw 7. Okay. Well, it's not going to be warm by any means. Okay. So right now we've got a first alert weather day. So this is our third in a row. We got another one coming on Friday. So today we're looking at until late this morning. So it's just for this morning. Snow showers throughout Tuesday night, carrying into today. Strong winds until this morning. Slick roads and tricky travel conditions. Friday, that's going to be for blowing snow possible. Snow accumulation on Thursday. Strong wind gusts until Friday night. That may cause blowing snow, low visibility. You can see here the slick roads are likely. We're going to click on our 11-day planner here before we look at those road conditions. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 14, low of -2. Friday, -2 and 5. Saturday, low of -19. That is one of the lowest temperatures we have seen in this area for quite some time. It does get better though. So check that out next Tuesday, 27, 23 by Wednesday. So there is relief in sight. We just got to get through these days. I know you see them up here on the top of my screen. So we're going to start in Minnesota, see what we got going on. You can see, so on a normal day, these would all be green. Today, as you can see, we're looking at blue, that's going to mean partially covered, and purple, that's going to mean completely covered. So compacted snow on the roadway. See if we got a picture here. You can see over there in Ada, the snowflakes coming at that plow camera there. And this was taken, it looks like about 7 this morning, 7:14. So not that long ago. It looks like those plows are taking care of business out there. But lots going on. So I'm going to click over here. Let's go to Highway 10. I want to go between Fargo and Holly. I know this is part of a lot of people's commute. And you can see a little bit of compacted snow on the roadway, but those sides of the roads, those are looking a little rough. Going to Holly and Detroit Lakes. We'll check in there too around Lake Park. Looking pretty clear, but don't let that deceive you. We said yesterday that black ice could be possible as well. I want to head on over to Breckenridge to Fergus. We're going to click here on 210. And you can see just that tricky travel there, slick, icy roads from that snowplow cam that we can see. And that was 8 minutes ago. So if these are part of your morning commute, you're definitely going to want to take it easy. And we did have significant snowfall up in this Thief River Falls area near Carlstead as well. So we'll see if we can get one of these cams. Ooh, look at that. Snow falling over in Carlstead. And that road, even without this snowfall, looks like it's tricky travel. Hitting over near Thief River Falls, compacted snow on the roadway. And it says this one's partially covered. You can see that there. That looks pretty bad out there. North Dakota. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, this is good news. So that travel alert in southeastern North Dakota for the freezing rain, blowing snow, it looks like that's been lifted for this area. Up here, though, near Devil's Lake, that's not the case. Lots going on up there. And we still have that no travel advised. It looks like it was moved more north, a little bit south of Grand Forks, all the way to the Canadian border, extending west towards Rolla. I-29, is going to be a part of that of no travel advised. Again, that's a little bit south of, let's see, I think that should be around Hillsboro area, a little bit north of Hillsboro. So Buxton, it looks like it starts that no travel advised. But even south of Buxton, you're going to run into completely covered icy roads. That's what this continuous yellow means. So continuous ice on all lanes on I-29. Looks like that starts near Gardner through Argusville, Harwood, and even from Harwood up north to Hillsboro. Compacted, scattered snow drifts out on those roads. As we get, well, check this out. Let's see. Zoom on in here. I-29 and I-94 in Fargo. So it says that we're going to have partially covered snowy and icy roads. And you can kind of see that here as we head on over to exit on I-94 on 29 there. You can see that. Looks like this is about 42nd Street there. Heading on down, we are going to see what we got going on south of Fargo, near Wahpeton, compacted, scattered ice out on those roads. We're going to see if we can, that looks like Morton. A little bit of a, tricky picture there when you're coming out of that exit there. And remember, you can find these too. I'll show you how to find these on our website. Let's head to Foreman and see what we got going on. Yep, you can see that there, the blowing, drifting snow out on the road. So remember, you can find these for yourself too. Just head on over to our website, valleynewslive.com, okay? We'll start on the homepage. We'll make it easy. Head on over to the weather tab, and then we're going to go to road conditions. So you can click there for the North Dakota statewide road report, then down there for the Minnesota statewide road report. And I also want to click on the closings and delays too, because we've got a lot of schools impacted today. Check out how many we've got. That's a few scrolls, right? So I'm sure if your student goes to one of these schools, you've probably already got the alert, but we also do have even Valley Senior Services over in Mayville and Portland. Closed Wednesday, no congregate, home delivered or takeout meals. So there's a lot of other things that could possibly be impacting you or one of your loved ones here. So definitely a good part of our website to check out. And remember that these are all available for you as well over on our VNL weather app and our news app. So we've got those all for you there. Download that weather app, and our First Alert Storm Team will keep you in the know as we continue to finish off this string of First Alert weather days. We'll let you know when that's going to end, and our First Alert Storm Team can follow you no matter where you go. You can set that radar to follow you so you can keep us in your pocket no matter where you may be. We're going to move on to our news portion of this segment. We now know the name of the deputy and the suspect involved in a Grand Forks hostage situation over the weekend. Deputies responding to an apartment after Alice Nestall said she was holding a man hostage. Authorities used a drone to see inside the unit and saw her with a knife. Deputy Cameron Bridger fired 4 rounds after officers breached the door, hitting and killing Nestall. Deputy Bridger is on administrative leave. And we got new developments in a gruesome Moorhead murder case. Prosecutors are pushing back against defense efforts to throw out key statements. So this is in the case of Isaac Arndt. He's accused in the August 2024 stabbing death of 14-year-old Jalen Walker. State argues the 18-year-old's confession should stand. Defense attorneys, though, claim Arndt's Miranda waiver was invalid because of his age and traumatic background. So if you're familiar with this case, prosecutors say he was legally an adult when he was questioned in Walker's death. State also disputes defense claims that Arndt invoked his rights to remain silent during a 14-hour interrogation when he said, "I'm done talking to you all." Prosecutors argue he continued to talk for 25 minutes. Court has not yet ruled on whether Arndt's statements will be allowed at trial, though. And Tyreek Jones, this has been a story we've been following pretty closely here. He was recently arrested in Minneapolis. After 4 months on the run, he's agreed to return to North Dakota. Jones waiving his right to fight extradition yesterday in Hennepin County Court. He was initially charged with murder as well as other offenses in connection with an August shooting in Fargo. However, those charges were dismissed after Jones provided information to detectives that corroborated video evidence and led the investigation towards another suspect. Jones is going to be extradited to Cass County to face an unrelated terrorizing charge. That one is from July 1st. And a Fargo homeless shelter is remodeling a nearby warehouse, transforming it into a winter warming facility. The expansion comes after the New Life Center saw record numbers of people seeking help this year. And as these winter months continue on, Valley News Team Sandoval Weber checked in on the shelter's progress. Let's take a listen.
Bursting at the seams even in the summer, the New Life Center helps men get back on their feet. But with winter in full swing, the need for warm shelter is at its peak.
It's a matter of life and death for those that we serve.
Rob Swears heads the New Life Center, a Fargo resource for struggling community members. A big part of the operation, sheltering the homeless. Open year-round, he says this year of the unhoused is record-breaking.
What we're seeing today, as in this year, is our numbers never slowed down.
With blizzard conditions present, he says shelter this time of year is vital.
They're going to try to stay somewhere else to get out of the elements. And in weather like this and what we're going to see this week, it is absolutely not an option. We need to get those folks indoors.
To help house men in the community, an expansion. They're transforming a nearby warehouse into a warming facility. A demand so high, their original plan changed.
Working with our architect and making some arrangements, we're actually going to be looking at an increased capacity of 33.
33 beds, as well as bathrooms and showers of overflow space. As the project nears completion, they're looking for help. Winter essentials like quilts are needed to make this possible.
This time of year, hats, gloves, socks, underwear, long johns, those types of things, we definitely need those.
The center plans to have this overflow space up and running by December 29th. Reporting in Fargo, Anna Ballweber, Valley News Live.
So they're hoping to gather all quilt donations by December 18th. For giving and volunteer opportunities, you can head over to our website, valleynewslive.com. And of course, as always, you can head on over to our VNL News app as well. Everything that you see on our news desk here, that you see in our shows, that you even see on our Facebook page and our website, those are all listed on the VNL News app. And we're able to send alerts right to your phone to tell you when we're powering this up. If there's any local stories we feel like you should be in the know about, we'll send you a push notification to keep you in the loop. Again, that's all I got for you here on this Wednesday morning. We are halfway through the week. We're almost there. Remember, you can find this streaming around that 7:30 time frame on YouTube, Facebook. You can find it on our live stream on our website as well. And again, I send you a push notification when I start this up. So I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday and an even better rest of